Hey everybody, I'm Todd. I'm at Alsatian. I'm at Alsatian Golf Club in Castroville, Texas, and there are no pictures on the scorecard. All right, so no warm-up today. I had to get right out on the course so I could play by myself. It's easier to video when I'm by myself most of the time. I imagine eventually I'll be able to play with other people, but right now it's just easier this way. Hit a really good drive up the left side of the fairway. Now I'm sitting just in front of the green right there. And I've got this little pitch shot, hopefully for a relatively easy up and down par. I've never played here before, and one of the starters just rode up and gave me some tips on playing this hole. Apparently this is kind of a sharp dogleg left. What you really want to do is go about 230 straight off this tee, and then the green is kind of guarded on both sides by ponds. So if you can go about 230 straight up the fairway, it'll open up the green for you for a straight approach into the green where you don't have to go over any water or even flirt with the water. So I think I'm going to go with my 4-wood here and see if I can't just lace one up the middle and set myself up for an easy approach. All right, so my ball ended up right here. The green is right there. You can just see a bit of it there. I'm gonna have to go over this tree on the left a little bit. I didn't quite get far enough down the fairway, so kind of an interesting shot here. I got to get some distances and see what I'm gonna try to do. Okay, as you can see, I had 109.7 yards to the hole. It was 110 to the middle. The hole's basically cut in the middle of the green. Went a little long here and got up on this shelf on the back of this green. So I've got a tricky little downhill putt on a punched green. Figuring out the speed on these is no joke. So I'm in the neighborhood of about 25 feet here. Like I said, downhill on a punched green. Not exactly sure how much is going to break, but I actually do hit a decent putt. Right about here, I think it's going to stop short, but it just keeps trickling a little bit, and it leaves me something at about 4 feet for par, 4 or 5 feet for par. And so let's see if I can make this. All right, so we're on the third tee here. It's 176 to the middle. I've got 169.7 to the hole. Looks like it plays just a touch downhill. There's not a breath of wind out here. So I'm probably just gonna go with a 6-iron, try to find the middle of the green and take my 2 putts and move along. So you're seeing the problem with trying to record early in the day or late in the day. I've got a tough angle with the camera here, so I apologize for this. Like I said, though, I've got my 6-iron out. The whole plays just a little downhill. I'm really just trying to find the middle of this green because that's basically where the hole is cut. So if I can hit the middle of the green, I'm going to have a pretty good look at a birdie here. I caught that a little heavy, but it does find the green, and I have a look at a bird. Okay, so like I said, I didn't hit that tee shot perfectly, end up on the green, but on the front half of the green, the front portion of the green. So I've got this little uphill, about 28-footer. Everything's breaking toward this pond you can see in the background. So I've got to play this out to the right, or to the right of the hole and kind of let it drift back. And again, these longer putts on punched greens, it's always a little hard to get the right speed. But basically, I don't hit this quite high enough and finish just on the low side. I might have made it if I'd have hit it. All right, so not an overly long par 5 here, the 4th hole. Looks like it just plays to a dogleg right. Kind of have to go, can't really get bogged down by these trees over here, so you got to take it out to the left and then bring it back on your approach. Pretty simple hole, it looks like, for the most part, so I'm going to try not to mess it up. It's a pretty wide fairway here, so I'm thinking right here that I really just want to kind of uncork one if I can. I never swing hard, but I'm really going to try to put a little extra into this if I can. And I don't hit a bad shot, I just kind of pull it a little bit and it doesn't cut. So I just end up just off the fairway to the left. Not a bad shot though. So one of the challenges of playing a course you've never really seen before or never seen before is you're not exactly sure of the lines you can take. So I played this a little further left than I would have liked. I was lucky not to get behind that tree. So pretty simple hole from here on in. Just gonna probably end up laying this up just because I have not a great lie and I don't think I have a good angle. I think there's some bunkers up there. So I'll probably just lay this up and play for a short iron into the green to try to make a birdie. All right, so I'm 273 out, so even if I did have a decent lie, I probably wouldn't be going for this. I don't have a club that I can hit off the ground 270. So I'm laying up with a 5 iron here, trying to put myself somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 to 85 yards, and I hit a decent shot here. Like I said, that last shot was decent. I put myself in a good spot here. I'm 85.7 yards from the hole. 78 to the middle. I've got my sand wedge here, and I'm just trying to find a spot near the hole, and I pull this shot too. So not a good look for birdie now. Like I said, not the best sand iron shot from the fairway there from about 85 yards. I end up here. I've got in the neighborhood of 30 feet on this putt. So not really thinking I'm gonna make this. I give it a good run. It's basically flat. It does kind of break out to the right just a touch, but I didn't get that on line. I had the right speed though. I'm proud of myself for how I'm putting the speed of these greens. But that's a par. So you may be wondering why I chose to lay up on the second shot there. It was a number of factors. One, I don't know this course all that well, so I don't know where I can miss around these greens, where you can easily make an up and down for a par. So my unfamiliarity with the course is one of the reasons. I didn't have the best lie on the second shot. It was kind of a dicey lie, so I didn't know if I could get a wedge or a wood on that, which I would have absolutely needed. I was about 250 out from the green, and I would have had to nut a wood to get there. And I just didn't want to take the chance on that poor lie. And now you may be wondering why I chose to lay up where I did. I laid up to what I hoped would be right around 80 yards. It turned out I had about 85 yards to the hole. I laid up there because I figured that gives me puts me in range of my sand wedge, which is one of my better clubs normally. That third shot notwithstanding. But I still got on the green and had to putt it up birdie. So it wasn't a bad decision. If I had hit the wood back there, the second shot, and put myself in real trouble, I might not have even made par. So discretion was the better part of valor there. I made my par. I'm happy with that. Okay guys, so we got a 328 yard par 4 here, right at the front of the tees, the black tees here. So I'm really just trying, this fairway's pretty wide open, really just trying to find the fairway. I don't have to bomb this, and normally I would just hit a 3-wood here, but it's pretty wide open and I'm trying to get as close to the green as possible. And I hit a decent drive. It's not terrible. It's not terrific, but not terrible. If you can do the math, you know already that I didn't exactly pipe this drive. I got it out here. It's good enough. I'm hoping to hit this wedge. I've got 94.7 yards to the green, hoping to hit a wedge somewhere close along this kind of very narrow green. And I actually do hit a good shot and give myself a decent look at a birdie here. If you watched the intro to this video, you've seen this putt and you know what's about to happen. Pretty proud of myself for giving myself this look. It's what, maybe 7, maybe 8 feet, but it's makeable. It's a putt that I'm thinking I'm gonna make to get to 1 under on the day. So I'm giving it a good look. Again, these punched greens, you never know what kind of bounces you're gonna get. And I actually strike a pretty good putt here, and I think I just misread it, or I just got unlucky with the punches in the green, because it looks like it's got to go right, and it doesn't move. It just goes straight, and I end up making my 5th par in a row. Yeah, I really want to blame it on the greens. These greens have been punched recently, and they're pretty slow, as they are after they're punched, and they're bumpy. I want to blame the green for missing that birdie on the last hole, but at the end of the day, it was my fault. I know I have to be a little more aggressive on my putts on bumpy greens, on slow greens, and that putt was a little downhill, so I didn't hit it as hard or as aggressively as I probably should have, and I made a par because of it. But I'm even through 5. That isn't bad playing for me on a course I've never seen, so things are going okay so far. The second par 3 at Alsatian, as you can see, it plays to, it's 170 on the card, 168 to the middle of the green today. Hole's kind of cut toward the front of the green. So I only had 147.3 to the hole. So I've got my 8-iron out here, and if I hit this right, I should be pin high or maybe just past the pin. Unfortunately, though, I don't exactly hit this. And I come up a little short of the green, leaving me with a tough little uphill pitch to try to save par. I'm guessing they watered in front of this green recently. You can see some tracks where the mower went because it's a little damp here. And I'm worried that my club's going to get stuck in the mud behind the ball, so I clip it a little thin. Yeah, right. I err the other way. I clip it a little thin. Don't get the ball all the way up to the hole, and that leaves me this not an easy putt up. It's uphill, so that's something I can kind of give it a run, but it's right in the neighborhood of 10 feet for a par. And one thing you don't want to do is leave yourself 10 footers for par on bumpy, recently punched greens. So not super happy with that pitch shot, but I'm going to try to make this par anyway. As you can see here, I give this a pretty good run, and it just lips out. So I'm going to take my first bogey of the round. So you may be wondering why I tee up on one side of the tee box or the other. I'm starting to do this more in disc golf as well, but I do it in ball golf all the time. The reason for that is I like to tee up on the side of the box where the trouble is located. So if there's trouble on the left, I tee up on the left side of the box. If there's trouble on the right, I tee up on the right side of the box. Basically, this is a way for me to optically, 2 reasons. I can make myself think optically that I'm aiming away from trouble. I'm never aiming at trouble. And then the other thing is that it does open up a very slight angle for you to get yourself into the correct position on the fairway or on the green. On par 3s, for example, I'll tee up on the side of the tee box that's to the side of the green that the pin is on. So if the hole is cut on the right side of the green, I'll tee up on the right side of the tee box. This, again, it opens up a tiny little angle there to aim at the fat of the green. And it gives me the sense that I'm aiming away from trouble, because I'm trying not to short side myself on these shots, so that I don't have what just happened on the last hole. I'm short of the green, don't hit a very good pitch shot, and I end up taking a bogey. So that's why I do that, in case you were wondering. And to expand on what I was just saying, this hole is a dog-leg right, so I'm going to tee up on the left side of the tee box to kind of straighten the dog leg a little bit. So I'm aiming right up the right side of this fairway, just trying to play a little baby cut and find the fairway, and I just push it a little. It's actually a really good drive, except for the fact that I pushed it, and I thought I was in trouble right here. When I'm walking off the tee, I thought I was in trouble. So I've been hitting a lot of pulls, like I played a couple days ago, and I hit a lot of pulled shots. And so this being a push, I actually pushed this out to the right and ended up over here. Didn't feel as bad because it felt like I was coming from the inside out and just didn't have the right aim at that time. But it wasn't a bad swing. I'm sitting pretty nice here. I do have an interesting little dilemma coming up with this this cart path as it pertains to these trees and my approach. So I'll go over that in voiceover. Okay, so here's my dilemma. As you can see, I'm entitled to relief from this cart path, but if I take relief, I have to move to the right because that's the nearest point of relief, which puts me behind trees. So what I decided to do is just play the shot as it lies, standing on the cart path, because it gives me a little better angle than I would have if I'm playing from behind these trees, and I actually hit a decent shot. As you can see, I threaded it right through the needle here and actually rolled this up onto the green. Okay, I said I was on the green. I didn't say I was close. I hit a decent shot. I'm actually just off the front of the green, but close enough to putt. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got something in the neighborhood of 50 feet here, and I give this a good wrap up the hill. But the slow greens and the fact that it's up the hill makes it come up about 6 feet short, and I really have got to stop leaving myself these putts for par, because this kind of stuff is going to make you grow old faster than you rightfully should. I look like I'm 52 years old, but I'm actually like 27. That's what golf will do to you. In case you're wondering what I'm doing right here, I use an app called Golf Pad that'll compute strokes gained. So if I mark the position of my ball and then the position of the hole, it'll calculate strokes gained for me. I don't put those stats up here. If you're a stat nerd like I am, I can definitely get those numbers for you. Just let me know, and I'm happy to put those numbers up for you. Mine are generally not good. They're fine. But I mean, I'm not impressing anyone with my strokes gained stats. And as you can see here, I'm not super used to working with cameras because I laid my phone with the tripod that it's mounted to right in my line so that you can't see the ball. But I do convert that putt and make a par. So we've got a lengthy little par 3 here. It's 189 on the card. It's 189.4 or 0.6 to the hole today. So the hole's basically cut in the middle on the left side of the green. So I will be teeing up on the left side of the tee to aim at the fat of the green. I imagine that's supposed to be a pond, but we haven't had rain here in central Texas for, I don't know, I think I checked the news this morning, and I want to say we haven't had rain in Texas, in this part of Texas, for 14 or 15 years, something like that. It's been a long time since we've seen any rain. So all the creeks are drying up, all the ponds are drying up. I'm surprised this course is as green as it is. I don't know where they're getting the water to water it, but I don't know. So if you're into that kind of thing, pray for some rain for us, or if you're, do rain dances or whatever it takes, whatever you believe in, do it for us, because we could definitely use the rain here in Texas. I know I just said a couple seconds ago that I was going to tee up on the left side of the tee box here because the hole was cut on the left, but I got over to the left side of this tee box and I just didn't like the angle, how it looked. It just didn't fit my eye very well. So that's another lesson for you. Trust your gut. If your gut is telling you something's not quite right, believe your gut. It might not be right. I've got my 4-iron in my hand here, and I don't put a good swing on this. I pull this one and end up left of the green. So I actually ended up doing exactly what I didn't want to do. And who knows, if I'd have teed up where I was thinking about teeing up, I might not have done that. I might have hit the fat of the green like I was hoping to do. So I end up with this pitch shot, and you don't want to have these kinds of pitches and chips ever, and you certainly don't want to have them on punched greens. all things considered, I didn't hit a terrible pitch shot. I mean, it's not what I was going for. Obviously, I didn't get it within a 3-foot circle, which would have been perfect, but I gave myself a look. This putt is actually about the same length as the putt I had on the last hole, which I made pretty easily, actually. So I'm pretty confident standing over this putt that I'm about to make this. Want to guess what happens? Yeah, if I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. The one thing you simply cannot do on aerated greens is leave yourself 6, 7, 8 footers for par. You're going to miss a lot of them, and you will end up taking a lot of bogeys because of it. Good example of that back on this last green, on the 8th green. I didn't account for the slope of the green. My pitch shot ended up about 7, 8 feet away. I just could not make the par. That's on me. That's not the green's fault. The greens are what they are. I've got to adapt to the greens. So a buddy of mine likes to call golf cow pasture pool. And I can't say I blame him when right behind the 9th tee is a literal cow pasture here at Alsatian. I mean, I can't say I don't like the course. The course is fine. I wish the greens hadn't been punched recently, but that is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. It's not an overly long course so far. It's not going to overpower anybody. I would imagine players with real power could overpower the course pretty easily. But so far it's a pretty good test of golf. I'd like to play here sometime when the greens are smooth. So maybe I'll come back here in a few months and see how they are. All right, the 9th hole here is a par 5 that plays at 560 yards on the card. As you can see, it's a little shorter than that. My GPS is saying 543 all the way home. I'm teed up on the left side of this tee box. Normally, because there's out of bounds to the right, I would tee up on the right side. But as on the last hole, I got on the right side of this tee box, and I just didn't like how it felt over there. So I got over here to the left. I'm aiming up the left side, hoping to play a little fade. And I don't hit a terrible drive here. I'm definitely losing distance as I get older and I'm not playing as much golf. But this is not a bad drive. I find the fairway here. I'm left with 299 yards all the way home. I did not go for the last par 5 and 2, and I have even less chance of hitting this 300 yards to get all the way home. But I'm just gonna go to hit this 3-wood basically as far up the fairway as I can. I don't really hit a good shot here. It only goes about 200 yards. I end up about 99 yards out. And I'm off the fairway now, but out here there's no rough. So one more time with my sand wedge. I've got 93 yards even to the hole, 99 to the middle. I've got my sand wedge out, and I actually hit this right at the hole, and it just comes up a little bit short of the hole on the green. But short of the hole, leaving me a little putt for a birdie. All right, for my last birdie putt on the day, I've got right in the ballpark of 19 feet here. Like I said, I could have hit that last shot a little harder. It was basically going right at the hole. But you're getting a good look at this putt. I think I have this read really well. I'm not super worried about the punches at this point. I don't know why. I hit it pretty firm, and it just clips the edge of the hole and leaves me with this little comebacker for a par to finish at 37, 2 over. So that's the front 9, guys. I finished, as you can see, 37, 2 over. I made those 2 bogeys on those par 3s. I hit that 8-iron that came up short of the green, couldn't get up and down. Then I hit that 4-iron left of the green and couldn't get it up and down. So that's where I lost my strokes. Some of that is I haven't been practicing all that much since I've been on the road and busy. But some of it is just, I'm just not making the right choices, making bad decisions, making bad executions. So it hasn't been a bad round so far. 2 over through 9 is not bad on a course you've never seen. So let's see if I can turn it around and make a couple birdies on the back 9. For now, guys, hey, make sure to hit like and subscribe for me. I really appreciate it if you do. And I guess I'll see you on the back nine. This is No Pictures on the Scorecard. I'm Todd. Take care.